I'm going out walking. Okay.
Hello, Bob. Can you hear me? Hello, Howard. Can you hear me? Howard. Howard and Brenda, can you hear me, Howard?
I have no sound.
I hear you. You can't hear me? That's at your end, Howard.
Oh.
Bob Brown, can you hear me? Hello, Miss Bob.
No sound from you.
No sound from me. Unmute all. More. Still can't hear me. Howard, no hear me? Howard, do you hear me? Not good. Howard, can you hear me? Howard. Okay. Who's on the iPhone? Can you hear me, Howard? Howard, can you hear me? Howard? No good. Who's on the iPhone? Hello?
Hi,
Who's that?
do you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Joe.
And who is
Hi.
it? Who is
My
this?
name, it's David and Phyllis Kugel. We just moved in this month.
Okay, you just didn't identify you, so it came on an iPhone.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Understand, I'm going to be
Howard,
muted.
do you hear me? Do you hear me? Bob Brown?
Howard, Howard, can you hear? Howard?
You hear Bob Brown?
I hear Bob Brown, Joe Lipsky. Bob, I'm going to be muting you.
Whatever you like.
Once the meeting gets started, I'm going to be muting you. And then you'll, okay?
Yeah, you're coming through clear and loud, no problem.
Okay, Bob, and you understand to raise your hand will be a *9. But when the meeting gets started, it depends on how many people come on. We'll see how many people.
All right.
Okay. Howard, I'm having a problem with Howard.
You're probably the only one who's paying any attention to this.
Asian Americans are good to work with. Very close to them, as you know. And they're doing fantastically well, and I think they appreciate the job they're doing. But I did want to put that statement out on social media statement, because to me, Asian Americans are a great part of our country. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Could you, Howard, tell him to pick up the phone, please?
What? Hello?
I went to your other line and I got a busy signal. Howard, I have three other people on the line. They could hear me. So you were going to have to disconnect and reconnect. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you on the phone. Okay.
Yeah, okay. But you didn't answer your cell phone either. Goodbye.
Okay, bye.
Okay, who's that at the telephone number 5707?
Edna Johnson.
Okay, good. Okay. Understand I'm going to mute you in a few minutes.
I didn't
Okay.
understand you. I didn't understand you.
Okay, let's try it again. When the meeting starts at 6:30, I'm going to mute you for a while so the board can take care of their immediate action. Depends on how people,
Okay.
how many people sign on. You will be able to hear us. You'll be able to
Okay.
you'll be able to raise your hand by hitting the *9 key.
Star 9, okay.
And we'll
All
see.
right, thank you.
Okay, stay with us, but I'm going to be muting you, but you'll hear everything that's going on.
Okay.
Yes, yes, Jerry. Yes, Jerry. Yes, Jerry. Hello. Okay, just join the meeting and you have the meeting up. What? I said when it asks for a password, I'm almost showing the directions. I said, hit the pound key. Yep. How you doing? You're doing it by the internet? Yeah, by the computer. No, you're not joining the meeting. Go out of it and start all over again. Just you could go to the website, zoom.com. Are you with me? Yeah, I know. 538-272-375. Well, what you can do is just go into zoom.com. Don't use this. Go to zoom.com and say, join a meeting, and enter in the 9 digits, 538-272-375. I don't know why it's doing it, but that's another way of getting into it. I'll see you either way. Goodbye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Howard, do you hear us, Howard? Hello, Linda. There's Linda. How are you? Linda, when the meeting gets going, I'm going to be muting you. I don't. Howard doesn't want to listen to me.
Somebody wrote in that they had clean and green and twice the guys are keen against their house.
Jerry, you're on.
So, speaking of the FDA, on the subject of
Wait, you're muted, Jerry.
earlier this week that testing simplified by swabbing from the front of the nose is perfectly appropriate.
Jerry, can you hear me? Hello, Jerry.
Collection, and it also relieves the burden on health.
What do I see here?
Joe, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Jerry, can you hear me? Howard, can you hear me? We got problems.
Hello, Joe.
I hear you.
Good, I hear you too.
Okay, good. Something changed.
Yep.
Okay, I see you now. Okay, Howard's not listening to what I'm telling him to do. Howard
Okay.
can't hear us.
We manufacture ventilators, even while we work with state leaders. So it's not just what ventilators are available. Ventilators are available.
I don't think Howard knows how to use it.
Their state and everyone are doing great work evaluating the full supply, tens of thousands.
Yeah, I'm just done with the
We
phone.
also say thank you to the American Society of Anesthesiologists and Dr. Mary Peterson. The American Society of Anesthesiologists.
He's picking up.
Probably will host a webinar for healthcare workers to demonstrate how the devices. that
Howard, I asked you to disconnect and reconnect. You didn't do it.
converted into.
Okay, Jerry's on. I can hear. Jerry, can you hear us?
I hear you, that's all.
Okay, Howard is completely out of the system.
Okay.
Devices to the supply. Peterson. Full cooperation. With 5 of 10.
Joe, can you hear me?
Yes, who's that?
It's Joe, Mike Ross.
Mike, and you're on which telephone number?
I'm on my cell phone number,
And what's that last four digits?
7038.
Okay, I don't see on my list. I just don't want to.
I can hear Mike, but I can't see him.
Well, he's on my telephone. Mike doesn't have a camera.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm muting the people that I'm just trying to watch out that I don't mute the wrong people. That's all. That's why, Mike, I asked you what telephone number you were at.
Okay.
Okay, Karen, do you hear us? Karen, I got to unmute Karen.
I hear you.
Okay, you're home. So we got Karen.
All right, we won't say anything
Can you
nasty.
Who's
I
that?
see you. Hi, Jack. Hi, Howard.
The hell is that?
Hello, test.
Howard, I can hear you.
Testing 1, 2.
I can hear you, Howard. Jerry, can you hear Howard?
No.
I hear him barking.
Say something, Howard.
He can't hear us. Howard has something in his end. He can't hear us.
Okay.
Okay, those of you that are not board members, remember, I'm going to mute you. Let's see what Mr. Hart is. And Elise. Maybe that could be him. I'm just calling you. Are you at your computer? Oh, you just turned it on, so I can't help you. Click on the link that I sent you. Just make sure your camera's on. And if not, I'll give you how to do it. Mike, you're 7038. Is that correct, Mike?
That's correct.
Okay, I don't want to mute the wrong thing, Mike. I just don't want to do it wrong. Can I change?
Okay.
Can I change the name? No, I don't see that. Somebody else.
Sharon, no gas mileage for this meeting.
Yes, you do. You got it yesterday. Okay, just you tell me when you're on your desktop. Go to what's it called? Google Chrome.
Okay,
I don't care
Francis.
what you do with anything. Not mail. At the top, the address bar. Yeah, why not? I gotta write these down.
Are we supposed to be on mute?
Who?
Me, Jerry Drago.
I didn't, what you came in, I gotta take a look at, you're on the iPhone? I didn't want to mute people
I'm on my iPad.
on your iPad.
Gerald, it says Geraldine's iPad in the upper right-hand corner.
Well,
That's
it's
me.
not that, I gotta look at the list. I gotta look at the list.
Okay.
I can mute it.
But could you mute it? It would be very helpful, please. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Who's that? Howard?
Howard.
I can hear you. Can you hear us? Howard? Can you hear us, Howard?
Hello?
He's not hearing us.
Alan,
Okay,
I'm in a meeting right now. I can't talk.
Are you what? Yes?
Okay.
You, at the top address
Everything's
bar,
okay? Yeah,
type
I
in
gotta hang up. I'm sorry.
zoom.com. Okay, the very top address bar. Did you go to Google Chrome already? Good. Just click it once, it'll turn blue. Erase it all. The Google Chrome, whatever it says. Oh, you're at join meeting already. Fine. I'll give you that right now. I know that, Alan, but you're trying, okay, Alan, let's just put the ID in. 538. I'm sorry, 272.
I can't
Yes.
get sound.
2375.
Everything seems to be, there's no sound coming out of it.
Yes.
I don't know what happened. I'm still trying to figure it out. Everything else seems to be working right.
No, that's not it. Let's try it again, Alan. Join meeting.
You gave him the wrong number, Joe.
I gave him the wrong number. Okay, let me look it up again. The number
No,
I
you
have
gave
here
me-
is 538 272 375. Howard, can you hear me? Shake your head. He can't hear us. Alan, what are you
just on
doing?
before.
Top where it says AOL, erase it. And just type in zoom.com. Same thing you did yesterday. Elise, are you there yet? She's waiting for the last minute. No, Alan, at the top, type in where it said AOL.com. Hit enter. I don't think it's a line below it, but okay, you say it is. Go ahead, hit enter.
Joe, is Len going to join us?
They say he gave you the wrong number.
Yeah, muted.
538.
Okay, I got your sound.
Howard, you're deadly. You're driving me to
Welcome
drink.
to the world, Howard.
Okay, you ready, Alan? 538-272. 272. 375.
Gotta add the key afterwards.
No, Mike, he's not doing it by telephone. He's doing it by his computer. So he doesn't
Oh,
need
okay.
he doesn't need the pound sign. Maybe. He's trying to do it by computer.
Who's that?
Mr. Hartley. And not yet, but we're getting you.
Joe?
Yes. Yes?
Jerry?
Who's that?
Jerry. Is Len joining us?
Who?
Len Freeman?
Len Friedman. I tested it with him. I tested it on the telephone. I tested with Len. Mike is doing fine with it. I tested it with Elise. Because
Okay.
if you remember, Jerry, Elise's volume was poor,
Yeah,
right?
I recall.
So, yes. No, not from. You're muted. I got to unmute you, Mike. Come on. Now speak up, Alan.
Can you hear me now?
I'm hanging up, Alan.
Sounds like a Verizon commercial.
Okay, I hung up, Alan. You're all set.
Okay.
Sit quietly. I don't know some of these telephone numbers that are muted. That's my problem.
Is that you ringing a bell?
Barbara, no. It's a computer. Don't laugh at me. I got enough problems, people. Okay. I don't know who Ted is. I have no idea who Ted is. Stu is with us. Stu Morris is with us, but he's muted. I got a telephone call here. I don't know who this person is. Let's see who
We're
it
going to
is.
find out.
Well, I'm going to look at the text calls. Hello. Len. Yeah, what telephone number what telephone number you calling from, Len? What's the last four digits of your telephone number, please? 7422. I got to find you and unmute you. 75. Okay, I have to unmute you because you come in. I don't know who you are. And let's talk today.
I held you down.
Here, Joe.
What number did you call in on? Yes?
Who's playing with that?
I can't hear you. Could you tell me what number you called me from? The last four digits of your telephone number that you called me from, please. What instrument are you using me to call from? And what's that telephone number, last four digits, please? That's what I need to know. Okay, go back to the 7522. I've just waited. It just bounced around. I unmuted it. I tried to unmute it. I unmuted
Hear me
it.
now?
Yes, I'm hanging up on you.
All right, can you hear me now?
Could somebody other than me answer? Could they?
Yeah,
Yes.
I heard him.
Len Mike Ross.
Okay.
Len
Yes.
Mike Ross, I can hear you.
Thank you.
Joe, can you hear me?
Elise, yes, I can hear you fine. Elise is unmuted right now. Wait a second. Okay, we got 6 minutes. Elise, can you talk up, please?
I'm talking up. Can you hear me better than yes?
You still broke up a little bit. We'll see how it goes. Can everybody hear Elise?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, who am I missing now? I think none.
I don't see Elise.
I see her.
Okay. Okay, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2 on telephone. So I think we have 7. Len, are you still with us?
Yeah, I hear you.
And Mike, you're with us, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, because I'm watching, they light up for me, they light up in yellow when whoever talks. And right now, everybody else is muted, so it'll keep quiet. while we're waiting, just as points of information, Buena Vista up in Wellington elected not to shut down. So they had their pool open for residents only with a limit of 10 in the pool and the tennis courts open. And as of 5 p.m., the town of Wellington told them, you shut down. So they were the last one of about 20 some odd communities I'm community with that had something open. Everybody else is shut down, 100%. And that's it. So long as we're going to have the board meeting we have right now, we have 22 people participating right now.
Voice only?
Like, they could hear us. I just turned off their mics because if we have everybody open mics, you won't hear anything.
7 numbers on mine. Numbers.
Well, what you see on the screen where you see telephone numbers, what happens is when you look at your screen, if you take a look around my picture, there's a yellow border. Is that correct, Alan?
No,
Yeah, I've got it.
I don't have.
Okay. And most of us are getting the yellow border.
I
When
got a
some,
clear picture.
okay, when Mike, you could talk now.
I can.
There you go. When Mike talks, you can see the border goes around his telephone number, 7038. So it tells you who's talking.
Okay, I just see a gray circle with a phone.
Right, because he's on by phone. He's not on by a
Yeah,
camera.
but I don't see anything
A no
around.
border around it? Well, you got to put another nickel in the slot. Sorry.
The color of my hair.
I just get in the middle of mine, ever so often, I get a green circle with a phone.
Yes, because he doesn't have a camera.
Oh, the person that's talking is in the middle.
The person, in your situation, that's the way you set it up. Fine. So you set that the talker comes on the screen and everybody else is small. Is
No,
that okay?
I got a green circle as you were talking.
Okay, Elise, talk. No good, Elise. We lost you, completely lost you. No volume, Elise.
Volume, can you hear me now?
That's better.
Yes,
Good.
I see you now. Howard.
Hi, Brenda.
Gotta
See,
get closer, Elise. You're gonna have to get closer to your microphone.
Can you hear me? How's that?
You're breaking up poorly. You might have to come in by telephone. Elise, I think you're better off leave the computer on and come in by telephone also so we could hear you. And then I'll turn off your microphone.
I hear Elise and see Elise.
Yes.
Her audio keeps breaking up.
Howard,
Yes, she's gonna call in by telephone
Right.
and she'll speak to us by telephone and I'll mute her microphone so we'll see. She's gonna have 2 connections, one by picture and one by telephone. I hope. We've got 2 minutes, Elise.
In my phone just died.
now we lost Howard.
Hey, Joe, I just want to go on record and say, for all the work you've done to put this thing together, I give you a lot of credit.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I'll take the credit if it works. If it doesn't work, my name is
When it
John
works,
Smith.
It doesn't work. I know a little bit of what you got through. A for effort, man.
Well, the problem we had is because some people, which I didn't know, didn't have cameras. So I had to set up 3 alternative ways of getting on. One was by computer, one was by a smartphone, and the last one was by a telephone, which Len is fortunately working very well, and Mike is working well.
Right.
So Elise is a problem with her microphone on her desktop, and I tested it with her before, so we'll see. We don't have much time. So I'm pleased to report that what it's worth, we have 26 people on,
Oh, good.
and somebody else just joined us.
Could be Elise.
I don't know.
I still see Elise.
Elise, what's the last digits of your telephone? What telephone you calling from? You're still going to see her.
But I don't see Karen.
I'm here.
Karen's there quietly.
Now I see Karen.
Hello.
Too short to be seen.
Is Jackie? Jackie, are you there? There's Jackie. Yeah, I'm going to turn Jackie off for a second. Unmute. Jackie, can you hear us? Can you hear me, Jackie?
Just listen to it.
We'll take that for a no.
No, she should. I unmuted her. She's on her iPad. Well, she's not coming through. Jackie, Jackie, speak up.
I hear you.
Good. Okay. I'm going to unmute you for just this time, but when we come down to the discussion about the entertainment committee, I'm going to mute you. Unmute you. So right now you're going to be muted, so you'll be able to hear us.
Okay.
And Ken Levenbrook. So we're up to 33.
Everyone's coming.
It's 6:30, and I'm going to try to use this procedure as though we have our normal meetings in an abnormal way. So the meeting's called to order. Tonight it is the 26th of March, 2020. We're doing this with the help of Zoom, and it's 6:30 p.m. The first item on the agenda is the approval of minutes, which would be revision 3. Len, do you make such a motion?
I make a motion to approve.
All those opposed, anybody opposed of the 7 people, please let me know. Hearing nobody opposed, I'm going to assume it's a 7-0. Still hearing nobody opposed, we passed it at 7-0. The president's message. I just wanted to report good thing that, as you know, Tivoli Lakes used our ballroom, and Tivoli Lakes allowed us to play at the pickleball courts. Jack went over there in the sports complex. They were very pleased. And then the next day, they shut down the pickleball courts for everybody. But I'm still letting you know they did offer us the right to use their courts at a reasonable time of the day. So that's good. Second thing is, as you know, the COVID-19 or the coronavirus, we are fortunate, and I hope we stay fortunate, and I hope everybody tries to stay in their house as much as possible, and if they go outside, try to keep a minimum of 6 to 10 feet. Those of you who know where I live, I have cameras outside, and unfortunately, I'm seeing people not from the same household walking shoulder to shoulder. 2 males, females walking together, 3 females walking together. You know, the whole thing they're telling you is 2 things to do it. The 2 things are wash your hands and stay isolated. You stay isolated, we've got a fight, good chance. Unfortunately, Valencia Palms is on Jog Road, about 1.25 miles away. They have 3 cases. And there's a problem that we come up with as community directors, is that we're not allowed to not allowed to tell the residents who those are that have the cases. It could be next door, it could be the other end of the neighborhood. And that's been a lot of problems that the presidents are suffering with on the communities that have a virus. Valencia, the Falls has a virus. Palms has at least 1 case, and I can go down the whole list of places. Majestic Isles, Hunter's Run has 2, and so forth. We just got to try our best. If somebody comes in right now, as you know, Avalon is not restricting anybody from entering, but if somebody comes, especially from the Northeast, please quarantine them to the house for 14 days. Please quarantine anybody in question for 14 days. So I think I made my point. Are there any questions about this at all? Hearing none, I'm going to move on. Jerry, Treasury report. Floor is yours, Jerry.
Okay, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
If you can't, I won't know. Just so you know, our cash in the operating accounts at the end of February was $209,000. Reserves are about $1.2 million. For the first 2 months of the year, we earned a little over $5,000 on our reserves. So that continues to work well with UBS, and remind everybody that those monies are invested in FDIC insured CDs. So there's no principal risk in any of that. So I just wanted to remind you about that. If we take a look at the accounts receivable, they're about as good as they get. We have a total of 4 delinquent accounts, 2 of which are and have been in litigation for a long time. The other 2 are past due just for late fees or partial late fees. So obviously not a problem. So Yeah, through all we're going through, be thankful we got receivables as good as we are, and our residents are being able to manage their obligations. On the income side of the statement, we had, for the month, we had a $28,000 surplus. Year to date, it's a $47,000 surplus. That's a little bit misleading because we have collected about $30,000, $29,000 in excess fees from Comcast over and above what we were paying for, because the Comcast agreement didn't go into effect until the beginning of March. As I think everybody knows now, with the April 1st payment of dues, everybody has been told to make that payment $80 less. That's how we're giving the money back to the residents, as we said we would. Other than that, if there's any questions, I'll be happy to try to answer them.
Directors, any questions? Hearing none. Thank
Jerry, I got a question. With the interest rate going down, is that going to change our earnings in this coming year?
For the whole year, you mean? No, the earnings were not really the interest was not a big factor in the budget, so that's not going to impact it.
Okay, seeing any additional questions? That's it. And everybody, just to remind everybody, if some people accidentally or inadvertently pay $1,638 for the April payment, we'll remind them to take it off of the July payment.
Right.
So we hopefully be okay. It's on our website. Okay, the treasurer's report. Community director. Is she there?
I'm here.
Good. Floor is
Okay.
yours.
Thank you. We hired Flamingo Plumbing to do our backflow certifications at 12206 and 12207 Oak Vista and 12419 Landrum Way. All passed. We recently had an orientation with new homeowners, Joseph and Lori Viviano, who purchased from Laufa, 12110 Blair Avenue. Another orientation with Phyllis and David Kugel, purchased from Pasquale and Antoinette Ianella, 12197 Landrum Way. Unfortunately, we recently had a problem at the Tennis Pro's office. The glass door was broken and it was replaced by express glass. We recently ordered 100 additional resident directories from Minuteman Press. And to let you know, on March 16th, I celebrated my 5th anniversary with Avalon. Hooray.
All right.
Yay. 5 years, God help me. Okay.
Seems longer than that.
I'm busy now. I can't help you.
ACC approvals, we had on 7851 Lando and 7955, 7912, 12063, and 12088. Everybody was approved recently. Notice of satisfaction, 2 letters were sent to 7641 New Ellington. Code palm was replaced and mulch needed in the front beds were replenished. Chem Dry, we contacted them and rescheduled the carpet cleaning in the ballroom because it was a good time to do it. So March 20th, the ballroom carpet was cleaned. He arrived at 9 a.m. in the morning and finished at 2:45 in the afternoon. Ballroom looks great. I've been doing a lot of email blasts and advising them that the sports complex closed down 9 a.m. Wednesday, March 18th. I also contacted Barefoot Pools and requested that they turn off the heat pumps to save some money for both pool and spa, and that was done on March 18th. We also contacted Lucy's cleaning service on the 17th to discuss the disinfecting of the fitness center. Now it's being done weekly. 1 full day a week is being dedicated to the disinfecting of all the equipment. That's 2 staff at 8 hours. So 16 hours, 1 day a week is being dedicated to disinfecting the fitness center. We received notification from State Guard Services that their staff will not be physically handling any driver's licenses. An email blast was sent to the community advising them of this, and notices have been placed at the guardhouse visitors gate for all to read. Recently, I spoke to Danny Cagle. The root pruning on the south side started March 18th. Another email blast recently was sent. Reference karaoke night was canceled April 4th. New night approved by the board will be December 12th. There were 24 residents that were kind enough to give in their $15 checks. And since the event is over 8 months away, we had the checks delivered to each resident's mailbox. Okay. Now, another email blast was sent to walkers and joggers to use the sidewalks and not the streets. People have a tendency of looking down and they don't see the traffic ahead. Just a precaution. So many of our residents and vehicles do not adhere to the stop signs. Email blast sent to the community welcoming spring, listing all work that's scheduled to be done in the clubhouse, disinfecting all areas and sports complex. I've been big on email blasts, trying to keep our community notified of what's going on. We were in receipt of a notice of commencement regarding PTCS, which is Professional Tennis Court Services. Document signed by Joe Lipsky. The business office notarized the document. The notice of commencement was returned to PTCS so that they could start with the permitting. There was an incident that occurred March 15th on a Sunday on the driveway at 7911 New Holland Way. A female resident fell due to the lifted pavers. No written report to repair was submitted to the office. All pertinent information, incident report form, and photos were sent to our insurance company, Park and Associates. Fine line pavers will be contacted for an estimate, but no repairs will be done until this incident has been settled. That's it, fellas. Thank you.
I have a question.
Sure.
Mike Ross, I have a question.
Yes.
You got on Lucy Molina. If the if the fitness center is closed, why are we disinfecting it weekly? There's nobody in there.
I understand what you're saying, but this was at the request of our president. He wanted it done once a week. If you guys feel that it's an overkill, just let me know and I'll stop it.
I'll try to answer that, Mike.
I think it was
Mike,
because of
the community's consensus has been multiple times to go into those rooms and disinfect them, because that's the room that's most likely to carry things, even colds or viruses of other types. And long as we have the thing, we're doing a spring cleaning. So we're doing it at least 2-3 times and then we'll stop it. Mike, okay?
Okay, but realistically, that thing's going to be closed, I would say, till the end of April.
But we're doing the cleaning underneath where it collects, which hasn't been cleaned. We're doing a lot more severe cleaning. Yes, before it opens, we'll clean it again. But yes, we'll stop it in 2 weeks or a week. I think this will be the second week.
Okay.
No, that's a good point. I wanted to bring something out. About this notice of commencement. It's past that point. We now have a permit number, and we're now able to follow it on the web. So Doug and I have had been able to watch it and see how it progresses down the pike of all the people that have to sign off on it. We don't know how well it'll proceed with all these problems that everybody's having with employees coming to work, but that's not our problem. All I know is it's now in the county's hands to follow up on it. Any other questions? Any other questions?
I got a question, Joe. The temperature in the gym, is it the right temperature? Is it too warm, too cold?
There's pros and cons on raising the temperature. Speaking to some of our residents who dealt with this, they feel that you start raising the temperature to 78 degrees, you they believe it's not right. We can raise it to 72 to 74 rather than the temperature, but that's it.
I just want to know what's the safety to keep the germs down.
Keep what down?
Germs.
Yeah. We turn the thermostats down to which we try to monitor that. Okay, we'll monitor that further. Anything else? Thank you, Karen.
You're welcome.
Stay with us, Karen. You can't leave yet. You can't go home yet. Item 6. Item 6, Mike, you just want to let us know what's the latest on our ugly virus?
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Joe. Nothing has happened since the last meeting, and we're still waiting on getting some numbers about how much should be done this year. My suggestion would be to wait until we reopen, but let's see what happens.
Mike, because we have some people that did not attend the last meeting, could you give them a 31-second synopsis, please?
Yes, there are some areas that require the replacement of lawns. However, they're basically on homeowners' properties, not community property. So there won't be any cost to the association. But once we know what we're doing, when we know how much sod we have to do and where it's going to go, then we will deal with getting payments from the shareholders. But right now, nothing is being done.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Mike? Seeing none about the lawn. Okay, we're moving on to director's comments. Does any director have any comments they want to add? Elise does. Let's try it, Elise. Get close to the mic. We cannot hear you, Elise.
My question
No.
would be pulled up the trees. Is that the appropriate grass that we put in there?
What?
You're coming in both. I'm going to mute you and just use your phone, please, Elise. No, you're not coming through, Elise.
It's got to be in her house.
I know that, but you did it to the phone. We worked fine on the phone before. She's not coming through. Elise, call me on my home phone, 732-0781. Call me right now, 732-0781. I don't want to let you not be part of this meeting. Well, we're waiting. There she goes. Hello, Elise. Wait, let me put you on speaker. Let me put you on speaker. Go for it, Elise.
We pulled up all the trees. Is that the appropriate grass that we put in? It doesn't look too good, I have to say. It looks pretty bad.
We hope it comes back, but that's the appropriate grass and it's guaranteed. So if it doesn't come back, that's our landscape contractor will replace it. But yes, nobody's selling the other grass. But yes, I agree with you. I think he'll just fertilize it a little more and bring it back. But if it doesn't, it's his responsibility.
I'm about that, so I just figured I'd ask. So I had a
Okay.
chance. No problem.
I'm going to leave you, Elise. Did you hang up, Elise?
No, I haven't hung up.
Okay, I'm going to leave you on my telephone so you could sit there and we're all. Was everybody able to hear Elise? Everybody able to hear Elise? Yes?
I don't understand what she was saying.
Right.
The grass that was replaced with the tree stumps, where we cut down the trees and ground the stumps, they were covered with grass. And the first question was, does that grass the proper grass, the St. Augustine grass versus the palmetto grass? And I answered yes.
I will tell you.
Like with me?
It's the palmetto grass.
Palmetto,
Yeah, I'm
thank
with you now.
Okay, and the second thing she asked about was the grass looks poor, and that would be the landscaper's responsibility.
Well, let me tell you something about that. You're supposed to water it every day for the first week, and then it'll look fine. People didn't water it.
Okay, Karen.
Yes.
Would you
Yes.
please get a note of it to get to our landscaper and tell him the new grass needs more attention and watering?
Absolutely.
And
But
you could
who told us, but who gave us instructions to tell our residents that was supposed to be watered?
No, they
I
have
watered mine. It looks fine.
They have a
never received
control. They have controls. The irrigation person can turn on the zones anytime he wants. So it's the irrigation person. That's why we have remote irrigation. You'll take care of that, Karen? Elise, is
tomorrow
that,
morning?
I just have to move to a different phone because this other phone is dying on me. Can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you. Go back to, I can't see you, but I'll hear you. Okay.
Hear me now. Oh, hear me.
Okay, we hear you, fine. And what else we got there? Mike, we're up to number 8.
Yep.
All yours.
Okay, as you know, the contract, finally received the final contract. That was effective March 1st. Most of the implementation has gone fairly well. I haven't had too many calls, so I assume that it went fine. We were going to wait until we reopen the clubhouse before we set the date for them to come in and give us their dog and pony show. And we're waiting. And on the 10th of June, we're supposed to receive the door fee. That's where we stand.
Any questions, directors?
No.
Okay, we're good there. Thank you, Mike. We're progressing. My personal savings is approximately out of pocket a little around $50 a month.
I might say.
Okay.
So I went from 112 to 27, plus I'm paying the 40, so I basically went from 112 to 67. So that's a good saving. I'm not complaining one bit. Committee reports. Mary, I didn't see Mary come aboard. Mary, if you're on, please call me at 732-0781. I got too many to look for here. And because it's just telephone numbers, we have 43 people that have joined us. And the people that are not identifying, I just see telephone numbers or the word iPhone, and that doesn't help me too much. Okay, so the entertainment committee, Jackie, Jackie, why don't you, well, we got 2 motions coming up. Jackie, just nod your head. Is it okay? Wait to the motions? Yes, okay. So I'm going to move on. We're going to do 9B when we do the motions. The hearing impaired, Mark Creever and myself, I'm still waiting to see a community that has it. I haven't come up with one, so I just leave it open right now. Now, the board had meetings. Those of you who don't understand 720, the best way I understand it is that we can conduct business outside of meetings if it's unanimous. So the board had 2 meetings. One meeting was to close the clubhouse on the 14th of March, which was on a Saturday. And then the other one was to close down the sports complex, as Karen reported, on the 18th. So I'm going to make a motion to ratify closing of the clubhouse on the 14th. Anybody opposed to that motion? Seeing nobody opposed to that, it'll be passed.
So just the clubhouse?
That's just the clubhouse.
Okay.
And the second one, if you have your copy of your agenda in front of you, is then on the 18th, when we saw what was going around in the other communities, I also then went back to the directors and asked them that we should close down the sports complex, and it was unanimous also. So the second motion is to close the clubhouse effectively the 18th of March. And again, anybody opposed to that? We're ratified it. See no ratification, the minutes will show that was approved 7-0. We do have, I did note that the 31st of March or thereabouts, within a day or two of that, we're going to convene again to discuss what we're going to do for the future, because right now the motion was, or that the signs were what we discussed, was just up until March 31st, so we'll revisit it on April 1st. Everybody understand that? Good. Okay. Item C, we ran into multiple problems. The board approved $14,500 to trim and remove 21 trees. We found other trees that were really in dire needs, and it became 28 trees. And then when we had the stumps ground, a lot of the trees that were put in, these oak trees that were put in, they were put in with rebar. Rebar is a steel about 3/8 of an inch in diameter. It's ribbed. They definitely put it in cement when you're pouring cement. And when I had my own places of my commercial places, we planted new bushes on Monday, they were gone on Tuesday. And people would just pull them out because there was no rooting and take them home. And the way I stopped it was I used to buy broom handles for 99 cents. I run a 6-foot broom handle through the ball. So when I buried the ball, I also buried the broom handle, which was part of the ball. Unfortunately, that's how our developer put the oak trees in, and therefore the grinding of the roots by the root grinder, we were chewing up teeth and having to replace these carbide teeth more than estimated. And we went through, I believe it was 5 chains to do all the trees. So we had the additional cost of $2,500 because of the headaches, because of the chains. I'm sorry, the chains. The blades that are on the root grinders being ruined. And then we also had the extra trees. So we have to increase that $14,500 to $20,900. Did I sum it up correctly, Karen?
That is correct, yes.
Okay, any discussion by the board members on this $20,900 from $14,500? We have no choice, we have to do it.
No? Joe?
Yes, I'm done.
Shouldn't this be only $6,400 increase? We already approved the 14.5.
Yes, I said we improved the 14.5. I'm asking to modify that or amend that to be $20,900 because of the problems we had.
But it's only 6,400 more that we're approving.
That's all we're approving tonight is 6,400, correct.
Okay.
But we're improving the project going from $14,500 to $20,900. Yes, that's an additional, just like you mentioned, additional funds. But we have no choice. And we're going to find the money no matter which way we had to do that. It was unforeseen, but I try to give you the background why. They put rebar through the balls rather than broom handles, which the chain thing would have chewed up in 2 seconds. But steel bars, it doesn't, just the blades deteriorate. Any questions for any director? Seeing none. Anybody opposed to accepting to increase the line item or the expense item for this project from 14.5 to 20,900? I hear no objections. That's carried 7-0. Jackie, I got to find Jackie. Where are you? I lost you. There she is. Now I'm unmuting Jackie, I hope. Give me a second, Jackie. Speak up, Jackie.
Okay.
You're doing fine.
What?
You're doing fine. Now you could bring up, we're on item number D, the Entertainment Committee motion not to print tickets.
Okay. We ask that we don't print tickets for next year because it's just a hassle right now to do it. I haven't done it yet, and we don't know when we're going to be able to do it. And we'd like to just give them a receipt when we do give them tickets. You know, when we give the people their seats, we'll just give them a receipt.
Jackie, isn't this something you considered doing last year?
No, we did tickets last year.
No, but didn't you talk about, weren't you considering it last year?
Yes.
We were, but this year we're making the motion to the board for it.
Right. So
We,
you've been looking at this for a while, my point.
Yes, we were, but it doesn't mean we would do it for the following year. It's just for this year right now.
I understand.
Yeah.
Could I understand?
I'm opposed to this.
That's Mike. Could I understand that if some, Micah, do you want to speak? Ahead.
Yeah, I'm opposed to this. We charge per seat probably more than any other HOA. To start taking away a ticket but to save $275 cheapens the whole package, in my estimation. It also doesn't provide for people who don't live in this development, where we sell tickets to outsiders. They want to see a ticket. I think this is an ill-placed motion. End of story.
Anybody else have something to say about it?
Jackie, I had a question. Do you know how many tickets we sold for this year to outsiders? Any roughly?
Yeah, not as many as we did the year before.
But that's the number.
It's not the same number. We sold far less.
Well, what's far less? I'm just trying to get an idea.
If we did 20, 30, maybe 30, 15
Oh,
couples,
okay.
maybe.
Can I say something, Joe?
Go.
Okay, I think we run into a problem. If someone can't come and wants to give their tickets to somebody else, they have no tickets to give. If they want to sell their tickets to somebody because they can't come, they don't have a ticket to give.
Ah.
I can handle that.
Jackie, do you want to answer that?
I didn't hear what she said. She's screeching.
Okay, what she's saying is that if people don't have a physical ticket, how can they sell the ticket? How can they give it to a friend or somebody else to use it if they're not going to use it? And I asked Jackie if she would answer the question.
That's another point. I never even thought of that. The whole point is we're charging $40 for a ticket that other places are getting $25 for. I mean, $275 is peanuts compared to what we're getting. And it's just, I don't think that's the place to try to save $275.
I got a question for Jackie, Joe.
Me either.
Go ahead. We're doing fine. Excuse me, Alan. Thank you, directors, for not stepping on each other. Really, it's working out pretty well. Go ahead.
Do you figure that we need that $275 to cover next year's nut?
Say that again? I didn't.
Do you think we actually need the $275 to cover next year's costs?
He's saying, Jackie, you hear him?
Yeah, I got it. If it would
Okay.
cover costs. Well, my opinion is that the tickets are more than $40 next year, and I don't think we're going to make anywhere near the amount of money. So any place we can cut costs, we should cut costs.
Alan, Jackie, excuse me, the bottom line is, I run the numbers of the entertainment committee. The 275 is not going to make a difference one way or the other.
Right.
If they operate in the black, the 275 is gravy. If they operate in the red, the 275 is not material.
It's 22 cents a ticket, if you want to figure it out. That's what I figured it out. And
Well, right now, could I just say something? Right now, I'm not going to order anything because I'm not having anything ordered from someplace to come to my house that might give me some kind of, infection. So it would
But
have
that's
to
not
wait.
the discussion, and this stuff is all months away. We don't know what'll go on, okay?
Yeah,
But
you can deliver tickets in November and December.
yes. The only reason, this is on the agenda, understand, as the president, I have two powers, the agenda and set the agenda, basically. And the only reason I put it on the agenda, because it was a 7-0 vote, which you also all got. So it deserves the attention for the directors to at least respond to it. Because generally when I get things that are 4-3, I try to squelch it before it gets to the directors and convince the one person to change their mind. I did not go try to convince 7 people to change their mind. 7-0 was the vote. Anybody else want to make a point? I'm personally, what you'll find out in the vote, I'm personally not in favor of saving the $275 for 22 cents a ticket for all the reasons that were mentioned before, plus others. I just think it's more confusing. It'll create more confusion, and all this stuff is going on. We're going to have a lot of confusion next year because people are going to come with the wrong ticket seats because we're using the ticket seats for whose show did we cancel for next year? This year? Rocket Man.
We postponed
it. And they'll be different possibly in the series tickets for 2021. And I guarantee we're going to have Soros. Anyway, any further discussion on not printing formal tickets for the 2021 performances? No, sir. All those in favor, one at a time, say yes.
The printing ticket?
Yes, for printing, for not printing the tickets. The motion is to not print the tickets. Is anybody in favor of it?
Yes.
Excuse me?
Yes.
You're in favor of not printing the tickets. Is that correct, Len?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody else not in favor? Okay, because we got this, I'm going to go around pretty quickly. Howard, you in favor of not printing the tickets?
No.
Who's next up there? Alan?
No.
Elise? My answer is no. Mike?
You know my answer, it's no.
I need it just for the records, Mike. This is being recorded for what it's worth. So we're gonna, if I am wrong, the motion is defeated and the
You didn't
motion.
call Alan.
I did call Alan, I thought. Alan?
I
Said
said
no.
no.
He said
No,
no.
I thought he did, but Mike didn't hear it. It's okay, no problems. We're doing fine. Okay, so the motion is defeated, Jackie, 6-1, with Len being the one. No, I need that for the minutes. Okay? Jackie, the second item is item E. You have that motion, Jackie? You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
The floor is yours.
Yes. Well, I sent, this was because we're not selling tickets now due to the problem. And we'd like to just give the people, our residents, the chance to get the same seats that they had next year without waiting on any lines, because we can't do lines or anything. And give them the same seats and let them mail in their checks. And we have a copy. We know what seats they had. And if they want to keep their seats, we'll let them keep their seats. If they want to change their seat, if we can change them, we would accommodate them. And this would only be for this year, because next year we'll go back to the original, getting of seats, because we don't want to alienate anybody next year. So, and we took a vote, and we were, what were we? A 7-0 to not have anybody stand online this year, and to have it mail it in, and we could take care of it the first day the clubhouse is open. And we would give them a 3-week period from whatever, we would give them a closing date of whatever date we decide on, which we haven't yet, and go from there.
Okay, the only question before, the motion shows 6. I know 1 you said moved up. Who moved
Yes.
up? Abby or Ed?
Ed.
Ed. So on the motion that you have in your package, Ed, who was shown as a member, did not answer. He answered in the affirmative. So you have add to those 5 names that are Stu, Jackie, Mark, Fred, Elaine, and Ella. Now we add Ed to that. That's how she came up with the 7-0, because otherwise it'd be confusing. The directors, you see what they're trying to do, committee? Any comments?
Yes.
Who was that?
Mike. Oh, let Elise talk first.
Elise, you can go first.
Okay, all right, well, I have a couple of questions. One is, we have brand new people who've moved into the community who may want to get tickets, who may feel slighted because they don't have a chance to get decent seats. You have people that maybe have tickets for only a couple of shows who might not want to get tickets for all the shows. Or you might have people who have tickets for all the shows that might only want to get tickets for a couple of the shows. How do you handle that?
Jackie?
Is that to me? Well, first of all, the people who get tickets after single tickets would always get tickets after the people who buy their series. And we're only doing series tickets now, and we're also doing for every resident who wants it, whether they bought a ticket last year, a series, or they didn't buy a ticket, they would have the same opportunity to send it in, and we will fill in the seats. They can wind up with a better seat because somebody did not want to buy a ticket. They can wind up with their seat. So we would just do it, as the tickets come in, and we would make sure that people who had their seats last year would get them. The people who bought individuals would get them later on. Individuals are not our concern right now because we want to sell series first, like we always do. And individuals come after. And then after the individuals come the outsiders. So we don't care if we sell outsiders in August. But the main thing is selling the individuals, because a lot of people have been coming to us asking, when are we going to put these tickets up for sale? And how are we going to do it? And this is the easiest way to do it. Let them mail it in or drop it off at Stu's house or my house. And then when the clubhouse is open, we can assign them their seats. And they don't have to stand online, especially in the summertime. And especially when a lot of snowbirds aren't here who do buy tickets. I'm done.
Mike? Elise, did that answer your question? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I still don't understand how they're gonna make the selection. So if there are like another 40 people who say want to get tickets for all the shows who don't have them, how are they doing that? How are they doing first come, first serve? How are they gonna handle that in relation to the seats that might be available?
Jackie?
Sense? In other words, some people are not gonna renew their tickets. Some people have left the community, so there are tickets available. How are they going to assign those to the people who want the tickets?
When we open up the envelope, we'll see what's available and give them what's available. We
I
have
think you
more
want to give them the best seat that is available.
The best seat that's available. We will not be putting them in the back. If there are seats in the front available, they would get a front seat. Let's say, I'm going to use myself for an example only. Let's say I don't buy tickets next year. My seats become available. Some new person will get a chance to get those seats. But it's not a new person. It's any resident that hasn't bought a ticket in the past year, meaning it's a new resident or an old resident. It's just people who have not bought any tickets in the past would be treated the same way, whether it's a new resident or an old resident. But the residents who have bought their tickets, they would keep their seats.
Mike, the floor is yours.
The floor is mine. First of all, I want to congratulate the committee. This is a very well thought out plan, and considering that the situation we're in is probably the only right way to do it, other than waiting until the summertime to do this, and over the summertime when the snowbirds aren't here. The only thing I would say is that an email, if the board passes this, an email should go out explaining the situation and where to drop off the request for tickets or mailing it into the clubhouse. That's it.
Okay, nothing. Any other questions or concerns about this motion from the Entertainment Committee? I'm looking around the screen here. I don't see any questions.
Joe,
Yes?
I think most people would appreciate getting their seats from last year. I don't think that's going to be an issue. And I think new people would be surprised on how good some of the seats may be. And I think because they don't want to stand on line, I think this will work out without any complaints.
Okay. Does anybody have a negative complaint? I know I've heard one negative complaint from Elise. And Len?
No, I think it's a good idea to reward those that keep buying tickets year after year.
Okay. Any further discussion? Is it an important issue? Okay, seeing no further discussion, we have this motion as motion number 23 from the Entertainment Committee that you all have. Anybody opposed to this motion, please let me know. Is anybody opposed? One more time. Okay, now that means the vote will be 7-0. Does anybody object to the vote being 7-0? Nobody objected to it. If that's my home phone, and that's too bad. It's the other lines. So that motion is carried 7-0.
What's the motion number?
Motion number 23 from the committee on the agenda. It is item 11E.
Okay.
There's motion 28, Joe.
Motion
28.
That's what happens if I don't put my glasses on. Thank you. And now that I look at it closer, it's a 28. It's a 3 that they closed in the 2 hoops on the left. I'm sorry. It's a 28. I apologize.
Joe, I will send out, talk to Andrea tomorrow, sending out a blast for up until what date. We'll discuss what.
No, before you send out anything, well, if you go through the club, I want to make sure that we have a few sets of eyes that look at it to make sure that, you know,
Well,
not only myself, not Betty.
Karen, who else? The whole,
Okay, just as long as you bring it to the office, Karen, she knows that we're going to have a couple of set of eyes because it's
Okay.
going to be it's going to be challenging to word it properly to eliminate as many questions as you can because you're going to
Right.
get questions.
Well, it's not going to be a short one. It's going to be a long one.
Okay. So we might have to do it other than an email blast, but we'll see, or many ways.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm finished. Item F is just a very short item. You received it. We're out of, or without the last handful of transponders, less than 15. We ordered 100. We have a problem that maybe we've solved or not, but the problem is the manufacturer that makes the transponders that go on the windshield is not guaranteeing they'll work without readers. And Karen and I have been very upset about this because we've just spent, as you know, in the last 2 years replacing 3 readers at about $4,500 a piece, $4,400 a piece. And we're not looking to replace new readers. We've been having a lot of complaints about the Oak Vista gate. We did have the company come in and they made changes and we're asking, that was just yesterday, and we're asking them to correct, asking the residents that are having problems to see if it works for them now. Because we have people that have transponders that works on the Whitworth Way, it works on Avalon Parkway, and doesn't work on Oak Vista. So they spent time on it. They found something they believe is wrong. And in addition to that, we're maintaining, doing something other maintenance on replacing the battery system. So anyway, we're ordering 100 transponders at a cost of approximately $1,000. The piece that you have in your package was $900 and some odd dollars, but does not include shipping and handling. So I'm saying for approval of $1,000 or approximately $10 each. Any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor? I see no objections. No objections going once, going twice, no objections, 7-0. Okay.
Joe, can you hear me?
Who was that?
Jerry.
Yes.
I was gonna tell Karen, don't pay the Comcast bill. I lost my internet for 10 minutes. I'm back now.
Yeah, well, it's okay. You lost it for 10 minutes and you're back. Oh, that's a while.
I know, you didn't know it was gone. That makes me feel good.
Yeah, it's Hartley's fault because when he dug up for his propane tank, they cut all the lines. So you can blame it on Hartley. And they fixed it.
I hear it wasn't his propane tank. They were looking for money.
Okay, now that we reached the happy hour, directors, do we have anything else?
What happened real quickly with the 2 entertainment committee motions?
Excuse me, one more time. What was the question?
I just want to know what happened to the 2 entertainment committee motions.
Item D was passed 6-1. With Len, I'm sorry, you were there. Len's the one opposed to it. And item E was passed 7-0.
Okay.
And as you know, that was those 2, yes.
I know we're not printing formal tickets.
Not to print.
We wanted to print tickets.
We printing, item E says, the tickets say, are we printing tickets or not?
We're printing tickets.
And the motion was set to print the tickets. Okay, I'm sorry, it was defeated 6-1. I got it wrong. It was 1 in favor, 6 opposed. Is that correct?
Yeah. Correct.
Correct.
For the record, I didn't vote. I wasn't on the discussion.
Well, now we're asking you to vote. We're reopening it up. Any further discussion? No further discussion. Jerry, you want to vote?
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Good. 6. I prefer to have, I don't want anybody with this newfangled way of what I'm trying to do it as best as possible.
I know.
So, and try to run the same way. No further questions. Okay. I have some people on video, and if you want to speak, does anybody have any questions that are on with us? Do I see any hands raised? I'm looking, I got to go to multiple screens here.
That's common.
I got see nothing, no hands raised. See no hands raised. I got to go back because right now we have 45 people online, which is nice. I appreciate that. Appreciate that support. Doug, are you raising your hand?
Yes, I am.
Doug, you're unmuted. Go.
So I would just like to understand, you made a comment that effective April the 1st, the board would review its ongoing policy of ratifying motions, etc., outside the normal board meeting schedule. Is that correct?
No, I didn't say ongoing. I said the board will meet somewhere around the first of the month to have a meeting. Generally, as I said, the statute 720 allows us that if we could vote outside a meeting by being unanimous. The attorneys have stated that, and the parts I'm listening to, that yes, you're supposed to get 48 hours notice, but the way things are changing every hour here, every day is different. They would support that as long as it's unanimous and there was no 48 hours notice, it would still be valid. That's the impression I get. So we don't know what the next 5 days will bring. We don't know if it'll go, which way it'll bring. If you take a look at the charts, which I looked at for the week ending the 15th of March, we had approximately 600 and some odd cases in Palm Beach County. And in the week ending the 22nd, the next month, we only had 400 and some odd. So it's improving for, I'm saying that county, for Florida. So it's improving. I didn't say the county, I'm in Florida. So right now, we're fortunate in this area. We have a down curve. I don't know how long it'll last until the next week. I'm not looking at days. I like to look at a trend. So from a graph standpoint of view, we've passed the peak and we're on the downside. Let's see when it comes back next month.
Okay, I would specifically like to know whether we have the opportunity to have the board review and approve motion outside the current cycle. For example, we are presently pursuing a number of significant maintenance issues within the sports complex, which would require the board's approval. And we would like to take advantage of this downtime, as it were, to get this work done. Is there latitude in the board for us to do this?
We'll discuss it. Doug, I'll make you aware of it before we make any final decision. I'll make the board if you're that. But be realistic. I think it's a slam dunk, in my opinion. I'm one person. It's not going to change. Not going to change. It's getting, everybody else is tightening up. The counties are tightening up. We're hoping the people flying from New York now have to be quarantined for 14 days. So I don't think it's going to get laxed in the next 2 weeks, April 15th. I really don't. So yes, Doug, I understand what you're doing, but we have to review it. And we stated when we made the March 14th closure, we would review it again the first of the month.
Yeah, but don't misunderstand me, Joe. I'm not talking about reopening the sports complex.
He wants to make repairs.
I am looking for motions, for example, tree removals and fencing replacements that we can do at a time when the courts are available to us to handle this maintenance.
And as I said to you, that now I understand, just give me the items that you want done. List them to me, which you've submitted to me, the 7 trees, which is starting the cycle.
Yeah.
Understand, replacement of items up to $2,500 or repairs of items up to $2,500, the Karen, the community director, has that right to approve it or disapprove it without going to the board. So you're only talking large items. So long as you keep them down into the area and Karen believes they're warranted, she will approve them. So you don't need board action.
Okay, thank
Your
you.
situation is, it's nothing new. Everything you're doing is repairs.
Correct.
So I don't think you have a problem that you need board cooperation unless you're going to come in with a item that has 2 digits to the left of the comma.
Good. Okay, thanks, Joe.
Okay. Anybody else have anything?
Joe, I have a question.
Go.
There was something on the news today about Palm Beach County and landscapers not being able to do their work. Is that any problem for Clean and Green?
If Palm Beach County says that Clean and Green cannot come in, that we're not going to break that rule. As I don't know if you weren't on at the beginning, Len, Buena Vista up in Wellington did not close their pool and did not close their tennis courts, and there was a lot of flack going on, and the president wrote today, thank God the town of Wellington told them they're shutting down. This is not an option anymore. And the president said now the community can argue with the town. In this situation, if they say they can't go from one community to another, then he can't break that rule. Right now, he's doing the best he can. He's cleaning his equipment. He's making sure none of his men are sick at all. But, you know, do we stay on top of it? It's just like every other unit where they say no guests, and everybody finds guests in the pools that were open. Everybody found guests on the tennis courts. And that's why one community said they shut it down. There were more guests than residents on the tennis courts when the county or the areas found out that the tennis courts were open. So we're not going to break the law, and he's not going to break the law. But right now, landscapers are allowed to take care of their duties. The swimming pool people have to come in. We're going to have green swim unless we want to empty the water. There's certain maintenance items that are going to continue.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
Any
just
questions?
questioning.
Yeah, no problem. That's good. Let's just understand that, yes, I see somebody up here. Let me turn on mic. Then 1 second, you're unmuted. Now, go. You're okay, yes.
It's Lois.
I didn't know, it's just so much I know who it is. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I just want to know, is Clean and Green, after they removed the trees, it seems like their machinery took gouges out of the roadway. How is that going to be addressed?
If it is, just report it to the office and it'll be addressed. This is not a board issue. I mean, Lois, I understand it, but it's not a board issue. Karen will take care of that. It's a Karen issue.
Okay.
Okay, but you know, the board doesn't get involved with that. If there's something that needs repair, it's going to be repaired.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything else? Alan, you want to say something or not?
I just say, moving right along.
Okay, moving, there's nothing, I just try, Alan, I'm trying to, if you don't understand, I'm looking at 24, so I got to go through 2 screens to look who's raising their hands and look for marks.
I didn't.
And Jackie is still unmuted. I'll mute Jack, but that's it. Seeing no further business, meeting adjourned. Thank you all for participating, and I appreciate it.
Thanks for putting this together.
Good job, Joe.
Good job, Joe.
Now let's hope the recording works. This is supposed to be recorded as a video, but we'll see what happens. They offered that service. Take care, all.
Joe?
Thank you. I'm closing the meeting. Bye-bye.
Oh,
Night.
End meeting. Come on, guys.
Joe, are you still there? I have a quick question.
I'm glad trying to guess. Alternate C. Yes?
Is Barry was he on? Barry Consovoy on? Is he gonna do the minutes and send them?
We can do the minutes. He was supposed to sign in. I don't know if he signed in. He didn't show me he signed in. Do the minutes, Len, please, if you can.
All right, no problem.
Bye-bye.
No problem.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Good night, all. End meeting. End